Eugene, and today I want to tell you about PyPi and its security. A couple of words about me. I'm in security most of my life, and currently I manage security research teams and checkmarks. What we do there is we build security tools like static analysis and infrastructure as code scanning. We create e-learning courses for the developers. My battery is low. If somebody from the org is here, I need the charger. And among many things that we do, we check every PyPi package that is being published every day. There are a lot of them. And we check them for malicious code. And believe me, I have a lot of interesting stories to tell you. Now, I want to begin with a question. How many of you use PyPi? Almost everybody, yeah, of course. And it's backed up by their stats, billion of downloads every day. But when you download a package, you usually expect the package itself, right? What you don't ask for are the dependencies that this package brings. And in the case of, let's say, requests, that's what you get. This is a salad of dependencies that even the simplest request has. And the real-life code looks way worse. So choosing the package that fits your needs is a very complicated task. And given all the transitive dependencies, choosing the secure package is even harder. And also, I would tell you that there are the bad guys that are forcing you to choose the bad package. And today, I want to show you a couple of attacks, how the bad guys can force you to download the bad package. So the first attack is called starjacking. Interesting. The screen is slightly smaller. It's called starjacking. It has its own spot in the Attacks Hall of Fame. And before I dive into the attack itself, tell me, how do you check that the package is trustworthy? Stars and GitHub. So basically, you check that the package is popular, right? So somebody else has used it, so you can trust it. So let me show you an example. Those are two packages called PyPi and PyPi.io. Their PyPi page looks identical. Moreover, their code is identical. And the tiny difference that they have is a small sub-dependency that has malicious code in it. I don't want to dive into malicious code. For me, it's super interesting. For you not. The interesting part for today is that both of them, the good one and the bad one, have the same stats from GitHub. Did the attackers use bots to spoof the stats? Did they use scripts or something else? No, it's actually way easier. So what I did, and this happened like a year or two ago, what I did in August, I created a package that looks the same, and I still can do that. The only change that PyPi introduced are the verified details and unverified details section, where now they put maintainer in the verified section, and it means that PyPi tells you, we've checked that, this is the account that uploaded the package. Whereas unverified details is something that whoever uploaded the package specified in the setup or project toml. So whatever is there, is there. And as you can see, the GitHub stats are also there. So the gist of starjacking is the fact that package repos do not validate the links that are provided, the links to GitHub that are provided in the packages, and show you whatever the person who uploaded the package decided to show you. And there is an interesting twist. So I created the presentation in August, about a month ago, and 3 weeks ago, in 20-something of August, PyPi added a change that is actually a great change for us all. They've changed the way they present those links and GitHub stats. So now, there's only one way to show the GitHub stats is through trusted publisher management. What it does, it takes GitHub Actions or another automated way to upload a package to PyPi, and only packages uploaded this way now have a way to boast their stars. So that's on the left. That's the way it was before, and now that's how it looks like today. So now I cannot put any link to PyPi and say it's mine. That's it about starjacking. Another attack is called typo squatting. So typo squatting, you probably know about it from the URLs. When you type a URL in a browser, and instead of getting 404, you open a website that is probably malicious or has phishing or something like that. So absolutely the same thing with packages. Recently, we've observed a campaign where more than 900 packages were uploaded to PyPi, and all of them tried to steal crypto wallets. And the thing that unites them all is that they are typo squatted package. For example, that is example for Selenium. There are several packages that are trying to mimic Selenium. So when you type Selenium and make a typo, you get this. You would ask me, what should I do to validate the packages knowing that there's starjacking, not anymore, that there is typo squatting and many other things that's waiting for you in PyPi? First of all, raise your hand who does this. Pip install something, enter. So don't, because now you must understand that if you make a typo, you will install malicious package, and I'll show you what may happen afterward. Or you can open the PyPi project page and just copy the command, the installation command, and install it without typing. Moreover, there are dedicated tools that allow you to validate the project. That's one of them. This is a browser extension that, when you open a PyPi page, it runs several tools that validate the project and add additional information about it right to your PyPi page. And using those tools, you can get additional data about the project and see if it's good enough or not. I'll have the links in the end. There are tools, open source tools that you can also use, like this one. So I've gave the link to the original PyPi and PyPi.io packages. As you can see, it has the same amount of stars because they're fetched from GitHub also, but the release dates are different. So probably a popular package, it takes it some time to get popular. So when you compare those side by side, you can see that the original one was uploaded some time ago, and the malicious one was uploaded in October 21. And that's the rule of thumb. So malicious packages are usually uploaded for like a week ago or up to a month ago, and then they are discovered and deleted, while the original packages are there for some time. Similar for the maintainers that also pretty much about the same time frame are created, and the package is uploaded the same year and time. Okay, so let's say no matter how hard you tried, you downloaded a malicious package and pip installed it. So what can happen with your computer? Basically, the short answer is everything that is on your file system can be stolen. That includes all the cloud tokens. It includes all the API token, let's say, of GitHub, or cache of the applications like Telegram or Discord that you're using. Your crypto wallets can be stolen when you copy-paste the addresses. They can be hijacked, and then when you insert it, it's already the attacker's address, not yours. Your browsers have a lot of interesting data, including the active session cookies of the applications that you're using, like GitHub. I have 20 minutes, even less now, to tell you everything that I want, but of course I can't. So browse to our blog. There are a lot of stories where we show how, in real life cases, all this data has been stolen. What I want to focus on today, I want to tell you several stories that show different aspects of how the things that are stolen can be used and what the bad guys can do with this data. But let's begin with the question, are there any maintainers of the open source software in the crowd? I see 1 hand, 2 hands, 3 hands, so cool. This is especially relevant for you, but also for people who have no open source project, who use GitHub on day-to-day or use PyPi to download stuff. So the first one is meet Faisal. He is a developer of UA-parser.js project, sorry for NPM. It's very popular. It has been maintained for a lot of time, a lot of downloads, and all of a sudden there's a message on the underground forum where an account of a developer in NPM with a lot of downloads and no multi-factor authentication is being sold. Guess what? Sometime later, Faisal posts a message that, sorry, my account has been hijacked and several versions of my package with malware was published. It took him some time to roll things back and get trust in his package as much as you can get after you publish malware and spread it. But still, it was very painful for him. So let's say few of you who have your own projects, or if you found malware in PyPi, what should you do? There is a dedicated channel to report malware in PyPi. This is a button that you have on every page of PyPi project. When you log in, you'll see it on the bottom left side, hidden, but you can find it. And this is the only way you should report malware in PyPi, because it's monitored by the PyPi security team, and according to them, they react not more than in 1 day, which is pretty good and pretty fast to remove malware from PyPi. What you must not do, though, is going public, like going to GitHub issues or messengers or forums or mailing lists. First of all, because the bad guys will see that you've detected them, and also the PyPi security team will not see your messages, so use the dedicated channel. And of course, if you have nothing to do with open source and just see that your GitHub has been compromised, well, that's the solution. You have your security team probably. As fast as you can, go and reach your security team. Okay, so I've shown you an example of a package, a single developer with a popular package. So let's go slightly bigger. You probably know this account in GitHub. Any ideas what can happen if somebody gets the admin rights of this account? Just shout it loud. So this is Python. It contains Python itself and many other things like PyPi. So you can imagine if I have my own malicious twist in Python itself, it will be a disaster. By the way, PHP had that. So this is a very recent case when one of the Python admins leaked his personal GitHub token to GitHub, and or to Docker, I don't remember exactly. But so they leaked it. Luckily for us, it was detected by the security researchers, not by the bad guys. So was revoked, and they've checked that nothing has been compromised. But you can imagine the scale of what could happen just because of a single token being leaked. So I've shown you a couple of attacks, and there are things, the common things that you can do, all of you can do to protect yourself against such kind of attacks. So the first thing is multi-factor authentication. PyPi enforces it already, GitHub is about to, and there are additional ways to authenticate in GitHub, like passcodes that are even more convenient. When you are using API tokens, no matter if it's GitHub or PyPi, give them the least permissions as you can, because if you have a token like the one with Python, it gives you keys to the kingdom, the attacker keys to the kingdom, and they can do everything with your project. So if a token leaks, make sure that the impact is minimal. You must treat your secrets properly, because if you don't save them, they tend to leak everywhere, into logs, into code, into Jira, into Confluence. There will be a talk about leaked secrets today. So make sure that you run dedicated tools that look for secrets, because they tend to leak. Okay, so I've shown you a couple of stories of a single developer maintaining pretty big things or huge things like Python. What about a library that is used across the board in more than 100K websites? So this is a case of polyfill.io. You may have heard of it. This is also a recent case. The story behind this is that maintainer decided to sell or transfer, I have no idea why, transfer the project to some company, and of course, guess what? In half a year, they started spreading malware. And this is a situation where many maintainers, not the unique case, get tired of maintaining their projects and want to just give it away to somebody else. And there are some certain things that you should do if you want to give it away, because internet is not, and open source community is not full of knights in shining armors. There are bad guys lurking out there waiting for you to make to misstep, and there are certain things that you can do. So the first one is you must validate whom you are transferring your repos to. I know that's super complicated, but you must know that when you post, I'm tired of maintaining my repo, somebody please come and take it. There will be somebody who comes and takes it, and then it will have malware and your work goes to trash. Even if you do not transfer it, even if you just archive it, there are things that expire, like domains and buckets. If your code looks and does something with a domain or a bucket, know that in a year, when the domain expires and when you stop paying for it, I can get it and upload everything I want and make your code behave the way I want. So when you stop maintaining something, do not forget about things that expire. And the last thing, there's also a recent attack called Revival Hijack. When you delete a project in PyPi, it's written in red, too much red letters actually when you delete something. Anyone can create a project with the same name after you delete it, meaning they can upload your code, the latest version, add a malicious twist to it, and they will continue to spread your project with malware. And this is exactly what happened. There were several projects that spread malware, and they were detected by the security researchers and swiftly removed. But this is real. They're not telling you about this for nothing. And the last example for today, judging by Penguin, it's about Linux, as you may guess. This is, I think, the biggest thing that happened in the supply chain world this year, and I think in the recent time. You probably heard about xzutils. This is a utility that is spread in many Linux distributives like Fedora or Debian. And what happened is that xzutils got malware in it, and it almost got to the stable release of Debian. And you can imagine what can happen if you have, in default distribution of Debian, you have malware. So I don't want to dive into malware itself because this is a topic for a separate talk. This is super complicated and interesting, probably conducted by nation-state attackers because this is a long campaign and very sophisticated malware. What I want to focus in this talk is the amount of social engineering that the attackers performed on the maintainer. It took them 2 years to start slowly committing things into the repo, promoting them using the network of bot accounts that pushed the maintainer to approve those commits. Then they started to upvote things, and then finally in a couple of years the bad guy's account got the maintainers permission. So they turned off all the security features immediately and posted malware in the account. And it almost got to all our Debian repos, but a lot of luck, and it was noticed by someone. So the summary of it is that open source software is not a world of unicorns and rainbows anymore. There are a lot of bad guys, and there are several things that all of you should do to stay secure. So let's recap what I've just told you. So first of all, multi-factor authentication. It should be everywhere, not just PyPi or GitHub, everywhere. Your secrets must be stored properly, and you must check that they're not leaked. Popular does not mean safe. Do not look at the stars anymore, even in PyPi when they are verified. Still, there are things you can do in GitHub. For example, you can come to a conference and give away puzzles and get a star in exchange. When you want to download and install something, verify it first. Because if something is not verified, you don't know what you're installing. If you want to transfer something to someone, verify the person. Don't blindly trust people in the internet because they tend to do bad things. And finally, utilize all the security features that your tools provide, because they have a lot, probably that you have no idea that they exist. Get to know your tools more and use all your security features. And that's it. Thank you for listening. And those are the links of some things that I've presented in the talk if you're interested.